And our thanks to Andy Miller, with the CEO of Georgia Health News, and Brenda Goodman from WebMD. But joining me now, Janet Rao. She lives in Smyrna, Georgia. That is the epicenter of where this plant operates. She's also the president of Stop Sterigenics Georgia. Thanks for taking the time to be with us. I know you were just a mom, heard about this story, and there is nothing like the fierce reaction of a mother that finds out their lives of their children could possibly be in danger here. What did you find? And you talk to people who you say got cancer because of this.
Well, So when the WebMD story first broke, I read it and some faces flashed in front of me, and there are faces of friends that I've lost that lived and worked very close to the Sterigenics plant. Their cancers were not anything within their family history, and so it was a really mysterious and tragic thing when we lost those folks from our community. So that's what pushed me to get involved. My husband works close by. My kids have gone to school in the zone. My youngest is in school there now. So it's a huge, huge, huge concern. I reached out to the folks that had been getting a little bit of things started, gave some organizational advice, and ended up becoming the president of our 501c4, and there are 7 days in.
Well, there are a lot of parents that have gotten behind you, a lot of residents, because this isn't just in the Smyrna area. This extends 25 miles. There's also a plant in Illinois that was shut down until they can have some of their emissions reduced from this company, and there's a concern about whether or not the regulation is to the levels that it should be. Let me read you the statement that we got from Sterigenics talking about how they are in compliance with state and federal regulations, that they meet their permit regulations, and that they have put in place a system to capture some of these emissions, and that they'll be in an even better position once that happens. They say that's going to be in about 12 to 24 weeks. What do you say to that?
So, we've seen their statements. We also know that the data that everything is being based on is self-reported data. What we're asking for is independent phase testing so that we can get data not just from the stacks, but also all of the ambient air in the areas around the plant. There is something called fugitive emissions it's a pretty big concern. Some of their adaptations, they've said, will address those fugitive emissions, but without the ambient air testing, we're working off of numbers that the company has provided. And we've seen up in Illinois with the Willowbrook group that Sterigenics doesn't tend to give the right information. The stuff that they've uncovered up there has been pretty condemning of Sterigenics' self-reported data.
They say that their data here in Georgia has been validated by the EPA.
So I'd love to understand more about that validation process, but it's our understanding that the EPA is simply looking at, again, these self-reported numbers that are coming from the stacks and not including all of the fugitive emissions.
So all of this could be cleared up if somebody just does some testing on a government level. Where are you with getting the CDC, someone to do some testing?
Sure. So the CDC, Senator Jen Jordan, the morning after we had our town hall meeting last Tuesday, reached out to the CDC and officially asked them to start a study of the disease impact within our area. There's an acronym for it. There's so many acronyms going around right now that I can't keep all of them straight. But so that piece has started into motion. The superintendent of the City of Atlanta Schools has also endorsed that. The chairman of the board of the City of Atlanta Schools has also endorsed that. So we've got some politicians who are really stepping up and asking for things to happen. City of Smyrna is working with Cobb County to do some of this phase testing. The testing is pretty expensive. It requires a 30-day period. So you do a 30, a 60, a 90-day period to make sure that the data that's coming in is valid data, not just a one-day testing.
And we talk about this, and you throw out the county or the name of the town, and for people in America, they may not know it, but the question is whether or not this could be happening in their town, whether or not there are these types of companies that are operating at the levels that the federal government says is fine, but are they using the right data to mark what is fine? And lives are on the line here. Janet, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.